Hey, what's up? Welcome to Farm Talk Friday. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my breathtakingly beautiful wife, Giovanna.
Aww.
We're here in Costa Rica. We've got a small permaculture farm. It's Friday. We're talking Farm Talk
Friday.
Yeah. This is my hat I wear around here. It's made out of palm leaves. Somebody made it in Montezuma. It's funny.
Yeah, that's Ken's favorite hat.
All right, let's get right into serious business.
Okay.
Well,
Hi, Eric.
Giovanna posted a photo of Crema, one of our hens.
Ken's favorite hen.
My current favorite, because she is the most beautiful, and she's with a doctor. She's with a vet. And also, she's like on an EMF table, getting all kinds of like electronic, modern energy treatment.
She wasn't on the ground?
No.
No, okay.
She was like on an EMF table, electromagnetic frequency
Table,
yeah.
Okay.
She was getting some acupuncture.
So he's talking about the picture, but did you tell them why this picture exists? Did we explain it yet?
Last week we talked about how we had an injured chicken. We have Crema, who either has a foot or a leg issue.
Yes.
She is making some improvement thanks to our wonderful local vet,
Herman.
And
he's a holistic vet in the area.
And he's like 2 minutes away, which is just so awesome.
He's into the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine.
Okay.
Sometimes the crystal method.
Sometimes when I hear TCM, I think the crystal method.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Anyway, so she's been getting some EMF therapy, some acupressure, some acupuncture with electric.
Like electro acupuncture?
Yeah, where he hooks up the electrodes to it and she gets little pulses,
Wow.
Anyway.
The full treatment.
Yeah, no drugs or anything like that, and she seems to be getting better. And what did you witness yesterday?
Yeah, like yesterday, the day before, whatever. But so we've been getting a lot of Marañons lately, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But we have so many Marañons actually from last year even. Like we're giving them away, including to our chickens. So I just wanted to see if our chickens would like Marañon, which is cashew fruit. This is the cashew fruit, the yellow variety.
They're on the tree like this.
Yeah, that's the red variety. The yellow ones are a little bit sweeter. And this is the cashew, you guys. We'll just talk about cashew fruit now. There it is. So anyway, I wanted to see if the chickens would like cashews, because we have so many of them, or the cashew fruit, and they were going bonkers. And Crema jumped up, because I was, hey Phil, and Gili, yay. So we have like the chicken tractor, and it's a big cage.
Right.
Yeah, we can see it back there. And so I'll stand over them sometimes, and I have like bonus food that I'll like throw at them, and they're really funny, and they sometimes jump and they'll go running for it, and they get really excited. So Crema jumped for the Marañon fruit. So she must have forgotten that she had an injured foot, because she's still very cautious with her steps. Like she's worried about it. But here she was. She like lost any kind of mental trauma around it, and was like jumping for cashew fruit. And Noni.
Which is this one, which I don't even want to touch because it's so soft.
It's and stinky. And we've had this on before, and it smells kind of like blue cheese.
Yeah.
And so the Noni juice that you can buy for like $40 or whatever at Whole Foods, I don't feel like it smells like cheese, but
it should.
Anyway, yeah, it should if it's real. Anyway, so Crema Crema has been getting this treatment from the traditional Chinese medicine vet that we have 2 minutes away from our house.
Yeah, so either she jumped and maybe hurt her leg or foot when she jumped, or
the cashew fruit.
Or she's kind of recovered and it's all in her mind. So one of those two.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll see. But she has a checkup appointment next week. So anyone that sent out any kind of energy towards Crema last week, because we asked, thank you, and we found someone that we're excited exists. Like we knew, we've seen him around. We've seen him at like community meetings, but I didn't know who he was or like what he did. And he's like right next to the Salon Comunal in Delicias. And I highly recommend him if you live in our area and you have a pet and you don't want them to get the normal like injection treatment that that sometimes is the standard protocol for other vets. But he does other things. He was massaging her wings. Yeah. So sweet.
Okay, back to the Marañon for a moment.
Cashew fruit.
The cashew is on the bottom there. And the cashew shell is super hard.
Yeah.
And we've tried to harvest the actual cashew nut before. I'm going to try again this year. It's tricky. So if you can get this shell open, inside is like a real toxic oil.
It's like, for conspiracy theories, like black goo.
Yeah, so you know, industrial harvesters, producers have machines to do this. But what I'm going to try to do, I looked up some method from Australia, is get a bunch of cashews, put it in like a pan, put them on top of sand, and then put sand on top of it, and then bake it to a certain temperature.
In our oven?
In our extra oven.
Okay.
Yeah. And so... And
not in our house.
Bake it hot enough to where the shell opens and the oil is released into the sand safely, and then you can take the cashew out and then dry or roast the cashew.
And what do they do with the sand?
You got to throw out the sand.
Where?
Well, we're going to throw it out. We're going to put it in a hole or something.
Okay.
It's still natural.
No,
oil.
I know,
yeah.
I know. But like, should we add mulch to this hole, like to make it less toxic so it's not?
Well, let's just see if I can get the process working first.
Yeah, we'll just see. Why don't you tell them about how you tried to do it before?
With the jungle method?
Yeah.
With fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a jungle method, which is not...
Hi, Kristen and Hope.
You don't have a high success rate. You basically like get something with a long handle and kind of light them on fire, and the oil starts exploding and catching on more fire, and then you try to burn them just perfectly long enough to where... Then you can dry them out or wash them off and then get the cashew out.
Then like half of them are burnt.
Yeah, it's not a very consistent or successful process. But anyway.
So we could really use someone that wants to specialize in this in the area. I'm just saying, people sometimes want to know what they can do, and this is something you can do. You could be the cashew... what would we call that? Processor.
Yeah, or we could just try to find the closest cashew local processor.
Yeah, I guess we haven't really done that, but we have asked lots of people, and no one's doing it right now.
Okay, and then more mangoes. That's it for the fruit.
Oh yay! But I wanted to add one thing. Sorry.
Okay.
So in Italy, when we went to Italy in 2019, we stayed in. Was it like Green B&B or something? Like Eco B&B? I don't know what it was. But we stayed at like a little farm Airbnb. And that little town, what we noticed, many different towns, they have like a olive oil processor in the town. So people grow their own olives and then they just take it down the street to the person that's specializing in that. And so I think that's what we need here in Costa Rica is the local cashew processor.
Forgot to mention what we use the fruit for is we make jam and fruit leathers and other random
The jam is
desserts.
amazing. Ken's new jam.
Yeah, and okay,
But
yes.
Ken just made this new dessert, and so we steam the. I think maybe he talked about this last week, but he cuts it up, and then he steams it, and then we just eat it with like yogurt and granola.
And we steam it to get rid of the astringent.
Oh yeah,
effect.
yeah, that's right. We did talk about this because our picture that we put up on the YouTube, because we have the YouTube. It's not a channel. It's like
It's a channel, yeah.
Well, it's your channel,
Well,
but it's like a
it's
playlist.
It's a playlist.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
Miko, you're hungry. Okay. But yeah, on the image that we chose for last week was us like making a face like, you know.
Yes, Jane, this is why cashews are so expensive. And they should be more expensive. They are so hard to process.
Yeah. We were like, why don't they cost $1,000 like for an ounce? Anyways, hey Miko, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. You got like a diesel sponsorship or something out in Hawaii.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, sound sex. Woo! Okay, what else you got?
Okay, so our little community here, Rancho Delicioso, we just had our big water meeting yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, so he means you're welcome. Our community had a meeting on water, a follow-up from the Zach visit. Zach was an expert that came out to consult us.
Zach Weiss, yeah. And so we're just discussing things we have to do because we're getting close to rainy season. And so we have some things we have to do on our property to get ready for rainy season. And then our little community has several things too to get ready. Just sort of water retention, stopping water erosion, water sinking, water slowing, all that kind of stuff. It's all permaculture stuff.
Yeah, so we have a mission this weekend. We're going tomorrow on an adventure. And part of that adventure will include trying to find this special flexible pipe that Ken seems to think does not exist in this country. But we're going to check anyway.
Yeah, we're looking for 4-inch ADS flexible pipe. But we'll accept anything that looks like it might work.
Yeah, so anyone coming down, maybe you could... I mean, is it like a hose? Or?
Yeah, but it's too big and is big.
Okay.
Honey,
anyway.
what are we doing tomorrow? Where are we going?
We are going down to the Baruka village, and our friend and community member and hopefully soon to be neighbor, Pippa, her nonprofit Futuro Nativo is... they help out lots of indigenous communities, and so she's been working with the Baruka tribe, and I forget what they funded there, like a healing center in the village, but it's the sacred fire that they're lighting for the first time to open up the space, and so we're going to be down there celebrating with them, and so that should be really beautiful. And Pippa was also one of my first permaculture pinup models.
That's right.
Yeah. So, anything else?
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Okay, so on my list, we have the jacaranda trees kind of going off in the neighborhood. All these beautiful trees, pop at different times of the year. And so we have one. The jacaranda are like a really pretty purple flower. And I was actually really concerned about it. I thought maybe I was going to have to trim the top of it. It was looking very sparse, and I'm thinking maybe the ants got to it, the leafcutter ants, and yeah, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, okay, the tree's not dead. I can tell the tree's not dead, but it's looking very sparse. But then all of a sudden, within, a week and a half, it all came back with flowers, so many flowers this year compared to last year. It's really exciting. And because it rained again last night, which is also kind of exciting because it's rare for this time of year, there's all these purple flowers on the ground. So that's been pretty. So the jacaranda, last week we got I think one of our first guanabanas, right? So Miko, you would know this as soursop, but it came, I think it was delivered on our birthday.
Yeah.
Or on my birthday, not our birthday. We don't share a birthday, but... okay, so the cacao, honey, I didn't even tell you about this.
Okay.
We have kind of like 2 cacao trees, and one of them's not really doing that great. It's there and it's alive and it keeps growing, but like the leaves don't look so good, and I keep cheering it on every time I see it. But then we have this other one that's doing amazing, like just looks so healthy and full and vibrant, and but you sometimes need cacao trees to be next to each other so they cross-pollinate, and sometimes one's a male, one's a female, and you need both sometimes in trees to like do the thing and make fruit. And anyway, so I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, wow, you look really great, but are you going to produce any fruit? And so a few days later, after I had that thought, I'm walking by it and I thought that I saw like maybe an insect invasion all over like the branches. I was really worried about it. I was like, oh no, like our beautiful cacao tree, like the one that's thriving has like this insect invasion on it, like all these little things all over it. And I went up and I looked at them. I'm like, oh, they're flowers.
Oh, great.
So for every flower, there's a fruit, right?
Hope so.
But, you know, I'm also a little worried because I'm like, wow, you have a lot of flowers. Like if you all turn into fruit, like they're going to be like really tiny cacaos. So I don't know what to do about that. But we actually had Peter Kring come out. He's a kind of like an expert permaculturist from the other side, the Caribbean side. And his wife is a specialist in cacao. And so she does like these, you know, midweek cacao retreats. And she teaches you, you know, how to commune with it, but probably also to grow it, and practical applications of the cacao, not just mystical, which is also practical. But anyway, Crema, we talked about Crema. Oh, I wanted to tell them about our wormy caimitos.
Yeah.
So caimitos are also known as custard apple, and I, you know, like a few days ago realized that maybe we've been eating worms.
Not a whole bunch.
Yeah. So, and I still haven't actually looked it up now that I'm like talking about it. I'm like, oh shoot.
But okay, so the flesh that you eat from the caimito is white, and the worms that are in there are white.
Yeah. Well, and in all fairness, because you're like, how could you miss the worms? So in passion fruit, like when you open it up, you have like the seeds, and the seeds are coated, but there's Miko might know what I'm talking about. You have passion fruit out there, right? But they have like these little, I don't know, like white pipe looking things. They kind of look like worms. Like if you didn't know, like passion fruit, you open it up, it looks very bizarre to some people. I'm used to them, so, but I opened one up in front of someone once where it was like their first time seeing it, and they're like, what is that? And I was like, oh yeah, these are wild, but no big deal. So I thought that the worms were part of the caimito. I thought it was kind of like passion fruit, where they just had like these weird appendages in it. And unfortunately, I was like, well, you know, maybe I should dig, and like, is that worms? I'm not sure. And sure enough, it was moving, and I realized, oh shoot, like I think we've been eating worms like possibly the whole time that we've been getting them.
No, because when it's only worms when they've been on the tree too long and they're getting old. So
yeah.
Not at the very beginning.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, well. Anyway, our caimitos look kind of okay, but they were still wormy. But like the ones, we got some from the community orchard that we have here. And those had definitely been on the tree too long. And not only did they, like, you cut them open, they didn't look good to begin with, but those were super wormy. And we had gotten like several, like maybe 6 from the community orchard, and we had put them in a drawer, and there was just like so many worms that had come out into the refrigerator drawer. It was so gross. But the chickens love them.
Yeah.
They're little tiny things, but they went bonkers.
Chicken feed.
Yeah. Deanna, hi. I don't have my mushroom dress on, but I love that dress. Okay, wormy caimitos, follow-up water meeting, jumping Crema and the Noni. I was so surprised that the chickens liked the Noni, or at least Crema and Butterscotch liked it. Pecan was kind of like, I don't know about this stuff. And then Guy and Lady or Senora Elegante, they're really much more fussy than the other girls, so I don't know how they're feeling. Yeah, and then in my last 2 news pieces, I reorganized our vivero. Vivero is a nursery, like the plant nursery. So I just felt like we've had these trees for a potential project that we might be working on to reforest, and we've had these trees now for a while, and so they've grown in the last 6 to 8 months that we've been holding on to them, and certain things were getting too shaded, and so I just needed to rearrange them. I needed to take some of them out and put them where they could get sun. And anyway, so I was really proud of doing that this week, and then I worked really hard on the fairy garden today.
All right.
Yeah. So that's my update.
The fairies will appreciate it.
They always appreciate a clean house.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Remember, we have a YouTube channel as well.
For replays. Or if you just feel like, I really want to binge watch every single episode of Farm Talk Friday, you can.
There you go.
You can. Norman's one of our neighbors.
Norman.
Yay. We're
rocket scientist.
Yeah. Aloha.
All right. We will see you next week on Farm Talk Friday.